Hey everybody, it's Beth. Today I'll be using this hanger from Dollar Tree and stencils from Amazon. I took sheepskin colored chalk paint by Folkart, used a baby wipe and applied it to one section of the hanger. And I just did one coat, just giving it a nice whitewash look. I did that on another section, but I ended up going back after and changing that color. Another section I used Barcelona Beige, also by Folkart. The next section, French linen. And I take Dusk by Waverly and cover up one of those sheepskin color sections. I just thought it needed more color. I used a pixie spray I also get from Amazon, sprayed it on the back of the words that I'm using on the stencil. It gives the stencils a light tack so it stays into place when stenciling and helps prevent bleeding through. I took ink colored chalk paint. You can definitely use acrylic paint. I just prefer using the chalk paint. I stencil on the word inspire with a stencil brush and very minimal paint. I then use the word believe on one and then create on the next line. I go back in with a very small paintbrush and fill in the gaps left by the stencil. Next, I take some twine and a piece long enough to wrap around the entire sign and knot it in the front. You can definitely just go ahead and wrap a bunch of twine around to get a very similar effect. I just didn't want any hot glue on the back of it, so I did it this way, just wrapping about 7 pieces around and knotting them. Take another piece of twine, wrap it around the center of all those pieces to tie it nice and tight. I then go back in on the top and the bottom and spread apart all the twine. And then next I'm making a twine flower. I just take the twine and wrap it around my hand a bunch of times until it's nice and full. Probably about 10 to 15 times, depending on how thick you want your flower. And then I take it off my hand and tie a knot in the center of that twine and make 2 of those. And then take those 2 pieces and hot glue one on top of the other, going in opposite directions. I take and hot glue that twine flower on the center of the twine wrapped around the sign. Next, I'm making a center for the flower. I knot the twine, cut off the excess above that knot, and then take the twine and just keep wrapping it around that so I have a flat twine circle. Once I have the size of it that I want, I add some hot glue to the center of the flower, wrap the excess twine below that circle, and then hot glue that down and cut off the excess. That's it for this project. Thank you so much for watching.